All right, everybody, welcome to Neural Network News, episode number 7. We have a very special episode for you guys today as we have our first guest on the podcast.
Yes, looking forward to it. His name is Kenner French, and we'll be covering AI and tax strategies, AI and real estate investment, and really how the industry is adapting.
And, of course, the big news of the week is we're also covering Elon's lawsuit against OpenAI and Altman.
Today we're also covering Anthropic AI announced Claude 3, next generation of AI models.
We're also going to count SoundHound AI, a company that's making moves in AI speech recognition.
Pretty cool. We'll have those and many more. Thanks for joining us. And to start things off, so we're going to dive into our interview with Kenner French here.
We had an awesome discussion with Kenner. Here it is. So welcome to Neural Network News podcast. Today we have a very special guest. So we're thrilled to welcome a guest whose expertise spans a remarkable array of fields. Former contributor to Forbes.com, Northwest native. He's at the helm of Vast Solutions Group, bringing cutting-edge AI insights to the table. Not just confined to the digital world, they're also deeply involved in real estate and venture investments. What sets them apart is their unparalleled strategy in navigating complexities of tax and IRS regulations. Prepare to take a deep dive into conversation that bridges the gap between technology, investments, and financial strategy. Kenner, welcome to Neural Network News. It's great to have you.
Dude, it's awesome to be here. I can tell you guys are a young podcast, young show, but man, it's going to be huge. You might be the new CNN of AI soon, huh?
Hopefully, yeah.
This
time will
is
show.
NNN.
So yeah, welcome to NNN, Neural Network News.
Episode number 7.
Yeah. It's so great to have you on the show. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk with us. About AI and kind of what's happening in your world with AI. I think it's really interesting. Just people talking to people on the streets, how it's really interacting with everyone.
No, I'm excited to be here. It's It's smart that you guys are doing this because there's not enough AI kind of content out there for kind of the normal people. I'm saying when I say the normal people, for late
non-tech
normal people, you guys are hitting the spot. So I think it's gonna be a good one, and I can tell it's you've had what 6-7 shows, something like that.
Yep.
This is gonna be a big one.
This is episode number 7. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, if you had a chance to watch us a little bit, we started our segment with a little beer drinking.
Yeah.
So, in honor of you, we have Elysian Dust IPA. It's marketed as a Seattle brewery.
Yep.
Tell me the area you're in. What is the area that you're in? That's.
I live right across the water from Seattle. It's an island called Bainbridge Island, Washington.
Yeah, I'm sure there's Bainbridge breweries, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But in this occasion, I brought something from the San Juan Islands. San Juan.
Oh, nice.
Brewery.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, let's do it. Let's open them up.
So I'm gonna let you guys know. So basically the inlet into Washington State, into Seattle, there's an island chain called the San Juans. This beer is from San Juan Brewery, and it really does represent kind of the San Juans, Washington State really well. So I figured this would be perfect to bring it, and shout out to the guys at San Juan.
Yeah, but we'll link them up as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
awesome.
cheers.
Cheers.
This is our
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers, good time.
Cheers. Digital cheers to you.
There we go. I'm gonna be hammered when we do this, by the way. Woo!
Yeah, there is a small risk of that, yes. So let's jump right into this. So your company, Vast Solutions Group, VastSolutionsGroup.com. What do you guys do? Tell us about what you do, and whatever connections it has to AI. And let's start with what do you guys do?
Okay. Yes, my name's Kenner French with VastSolutionsGroup.com. The moniker is Tax, Finance, and Artificial Intelligence to lower tax liability for entrepreneurs. And people say, well, what is that? Basically, we use technology in every way, shape, or form possible to lower taxes legally for business owners. And then we also luckily have a lot of clients who need financing for real estate. So we have a real estate financing arm all under the umbrella of VastSolutionsGroup.com.
Awesome.
Very cool.
I remember on one of the previous formats we've met at, you mentioned that you guys are lending out money on commercial projects. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, let me explain. So our company has been around since 1969, and then I took it over. I started running it in 2006. And since 2006 to basically now, we're in 2024, people are always asking me for money for real estate because a lot of our clients are real estate investors. 93% are real estate investors. And being, well, frankly, not very smart, I would say, hey, go to B of A, go to Wells Fargo, or go wherever. It didn't matter. But finally, a few months ago, someone actually said, hey, almost hit me on the head, basically, virtually, and said, you've got to get financing for people. It's really hard for people to get financing. So I said, okay, we kind of did a project for our client and pro bono, or for free, basically. And then we found out, wow, it's hard. So we basically put together our own platform, had a couple platform partners put together so we could actually get financing for some of our small business owners, usually our entrepreneurs, usually real estate investors. And it's worked out really well. Luckily, even though it's a hard environment, but luckily we've been able to find financing for a lot of our real estate investors that are commercial, doing commercial properties.
Very cool.
Great.
What kind of projects do you like to put money in?
Very good question. Our personal minimum is $2 million. It's got to be a commercial property, a hotel as an example, a big building, let's say in a downtown urban area. It could be a motel. It could be 5-unit residence, multifamily residence is what they call those. It could be even for we're working on something that's a huge new construction complex. It's going to be turned into condos. So basically anything, if you really think about it, we like to do anything that's hard to fund, hard to finance. Anything that's commercially based.
Very cool. So we're curious about the AI stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're curious about, you mentioned in our offline conversation, you mentioned you guys have developed your own AI model. If you could share a little bit, what the model does, what you train it on, and how you guys use it in your business. That's probably the most interesting to us.
Yeah. So basically, let me give a little bit of background if it's okay for you guys.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
In 2010, I got a little interest in this thing called AI, artificial intelligence. We did, as a business, we couldn't do anything with it. We had no clue what we were doing. Who knows if we still do now? But basically what happened was 2000 and, let's say 16, I really said, hey, we got to somehow use artificial intelligence. It's going to be the next big thing. It's going to lower tax liability for entrepreneurs. It's going to really, hopefully even maybe help retirees to better off their retirement years. And so basically we started really doing the research, and finally we came out with our own now I look at it as a quasi artificial intelligence model, which basically was almost a chatbot, basically. A chatbot now they would call it a chatbot, I guess. And it was employed in 2018. It basically answered the questions that so many people had about taxes, and to a certain extent how to lower the tax liability, all legally, by the way. Now what I would say is we call it now, we called it back then Einstein. Einstein, the smartest man in the world ever,
right?
Theoretically.
Yeah.
So
Until Elon.
we called it Einstein, and it basically, now looking back, it was kind of crude, but it helped us to grow. We're still a boutique, but it helped us to lower tax liability for entrepreneurs. They could go into the chatbot and ask it questions, which is awesome. And then obviously ChatGPT came about with OpenAI per se, and then a couple other models. And so it's really changed now where we're going as far as and how we're deploying artificial intelligence. Because frankly, our Einstein model to a certain extent is, I'm going to almost say, I hate to say it, outdated to a certain extent, but because we have the background of using artificial intelligence, we've been able to kind of go around.
Yeah, put you guys ahead of the curve.
Go around ChatGPT and Gemini, as it's called, formerly Bard for Google.
Right.
And still use those, still use AI, but just a little bit differently than we were using it before. And again, we call it Einstein.
Okay. Yeah. Is it a large language model?
Yeah, it's based on large language model.
Okay.
But back then, by the way, there was no such thing as a large language model. But it was just our own. I'll throw this out.
Machine learning.
Hopefully it's interesting to some of you guys. So there were a few different companies that really had AI models. There's AWS by Amazon. Can we call it?
Right.
You guys know what Amazon. Google, right? And Microsoft. But we used Google's back then, it's called TensorFlow, which is, let's say, machine learning or artificial intelligence, as an open source. So the equation would be ChatGPT to a certain extent. But the cool thing is you could build on top of TensorFlow and make your own models. So it was all open source. It was really cool at the time, right? So that's what we were using as the basis for our artificial intelligence versus writing our own models.
Right.
Makes sense. Okay. How are you guys using it now? Is this something that your customers use? Is this something you use to analyze deals? What's the application in your case?
Now we use it really for every single thing we do. We are using it's basically built on top of Bard or on Gemini, by the way. But for pretty much everything we do, our emails, we use Einstein. We still call it Einstein. For social media, Einstein. For our analysis, Einstein. For pretty much everything we do.
So it's a model that you really created for your business, and you're using it for all aspects, from marketing to underwriting. Okay, interesting.
That's exactly not underwriting, but yeah, truly for everything. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. All right.
What are the questions? Well, I guess kind of question is, what is your current outlook, or kind of what are the future forecasts for your company with AI?
For our company with AI, future. Okay.
Or what you guys are developing right now with them?
That's a killer question. Wow. There's so many different ways to answer that. AI is changing so rapidly. I used to have 3-year windows. I would look out what's happening 3 years, but now we've changed it to 3 months.
Yeah.
Because that's a hard to define. Because every time we have a cool part of our little AI stuff, we get leapfrogged by whatever Gemini or something called Claude or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So that's a really hard answer. Now I know long term, I think this is really cool. I think AI is going to lead to this thing called quantum computing.
Right.
Actually, I know it. So what I would say is I think long-term quantum computing is going to be the thing. And it's going to envelop AI and it's going to take computers to a totally another level. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question.
It does.
I'm saying right now, AI is the thing to use.
It is.
No doubt. If you're not using it in your business, something's wrong. That's the way I look at it.
100%. Yeah, I think the people who are going to get left behind, the ones that are not using the technology or at least playing with it or interacting with it. Absolutely. And a lot of jobs are already disappearing. We covered it in our previous episode, but it will. The ones with the jobs are going to be the ones that are using this new technology. You guys are on the cutting edge. You have a real estate investment and a tax firm, and you guys are been incorporating. Sounds like from 2015, 2016.
Really, 2018 is when we really went full bore. But yeah, 100%. What I would also say is, if you're not, I guess my takeaway from this, I guess what I'm saying, what I would stress is, if you're not using AI in your business, I don't care what you are, something's wrong. I mean, really what you should be doing is being the expert in, let's say you're a tax expert. You should be the AI tax expert. Let's say you're the real estate, you're a real estate agent. You should be the AI real estate agent. I mean, you'll go so much further because you'll be prepared. You won't be replaced by AI, because there is that possibility in some cases.
And if you're a real estate investor, you can use AI in so many ways to help you analyze deals.
Totally. I mean, think of it as a real estate investor. Let's say you're trying to go through a bunch of real estate projects. You could put it in your own little quasi model and do a deep dive and do a dump and see what properties align with your interests or your goals or your objectives by putting it into AI and doing setting up kind of your own quasi model.
Right. Yeah. And if you're working with, say, with an Excel sheet full of data, you can dump that in and ask it analytical questions. That's one of the ways I really enjoyed using it. Even for my own business, I dumped the data into the system and started asking what results it could give me based on the information I was putting in.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Even a sales guy, you can, let's say you have a sales team. You could put in recordings of if you record your sales teams and their conversations,
meetings,
you could put in certain parameters and see if what your parameters are for your salespeople is equaling what they're saying. And then you can figure out ways to improve the sales process based on whatever, in this case, ChatGPT, probably even Claude too. So there's just so many uses for AI. It's unbelievable in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
In a different place. Well, shout out to WealthGenius. That's how you and I met, and Thomas Lorini on the call with WealthGenius and Thomas Lorini. You shared the R&D tax credits. Can you talk about that? Because from the biggest I think I learned from you from that was it doesn't have to be some kind of tech business. It could be a real estate company. And because everything that we're doing nowadays, can you talk a little bit more about the R&D credits?
Yeah, very smart question. So as an example, let's say you're a real estate agent and you have a big tax liability. Plus, you want to try, or no, sorry. Let's say you're a real estate agent and you want to try new things. Well, one way of doing that is, well, employing an artificial intelligence quasi model and seeing if trying to do new things, push the envelope, doing research and development to see if, let's say, that technology will help your business, which would help society at large. Number one. Also, number two, if you have a tax liability, well, you can apply, or not even apply, automatically you can file for an R&D, research and development tax credit. So, and what I would say is go back to your tax provider and see if that's a fit for you. But what I would say is you're doing two things. You're doing a number of things. Number one, well, hopefully, you never know. Maybe you're going to come out with some cool research, right? Totally unique. It's going to help you in the marketplace, make more money, right? And then number two, as I said before, I didn't say it enough, but in the marketplace, you're going to look totally unique. So you're going to get some new business, right? Why not?
Yeah.
But at the same time, who knows? I would say that enterprise might end up being the big Google. I don't know. You have a chance of doing something big by trying new things in the marketplace. That's the reason you're getting a research credit.
And implementing this new technology.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Well, even trying it. Trying it.
Yeah.
So what happens is you get a dot. Let's say, I'm making this up. Let's say spend $10 on research and development of a strategy of a product using AI as an example. Sometimes you could get back that same exact amount in dollars credit from the IRS in that example. Totally as an example. $10 spent, $10 you get back as an example. Ask your tax provider if it's a fit. But in many cases, you can use R&D credits to help your bottom line.
If you're using new technology, any kind of new technology. So if you're any kind of, let's say, small business and you're trying out, for example, this specific technology or any new technology that makes sense, that would qualify for this R&D. Of course, we're not providing financial or tax advice.
No.
You got to check with your tax account professional. But it's something that I've learned from you, and I really appreciate it. I think that's extremely useful to people.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah. How do you see, I guess question for both of you is, how do you see it changing the real estate market?
Ooh, you want to answer that first? That's a killer
please.
question.
Yeah, you, Kenner.
I think it's gonna completely change it. There's some companies right now, some big name companies that are working on deploying AI in the commercial space, which commercial space is way old school. So it's going to totally help, and I think it might even help up the short term prices up a little bit, because they're right now they're kind of depressed, meaning the commercial property space is kind of depressed financially, relatively speaking. And I think it's going to help. Number one. Number two, it's going to lead to more kind of open information to more of the marketplace, because right now a lot of the quote marketplace, the investors, let's say, or it's a small component, it's a small space, relatively speaking, of the overall marketplace. And I think that's going to be a huge thing when maybe not mom and pop, but other investors who aren't, the top of the top can now get information and invest in commercial properties that they wouldn't normally have gotten into, which I think it's a good thing. It's, again, democratization of information, which also helps kind of the quote little guy, if there is a little guy or girl in commercial properties. But that's what I would say.
I hope that AI is going to affect the tax code and hopefully simplify it. That's a hope.
Our tax code's pretty darn hard, and it's hard to understand, hard to operate, hard to navigate. I hear what you're saying there. But then again, hey, I will say AI in some cases can help you with taxes, because it can even help you, or generally it really can, but it can help you to know, it could prognosticate what your audit possibility is on a certain tax move. And that's pretty huge. Or again, in finance, it could help you to determine if you're going to be able to retire when you want to retire. So those are just two examples of ways that AI can help in finance and taxes.
Yeah.
Very cool. Kenner, how can people find you?
They can find me by going to the web, the old-fashioned web, if you will, vastsolutionsgroup.com. V as in Victor, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, T as in Tom, solutions with an S. We have a pretty inviting website, and please, we have a lot of tools there, a lot of content, and some free tools, by the way. So I think we can add some value to people just by going to the website. Again, it's vastsolutionsgroup.com.
Excellent.
Right on.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
It was really awesome to talk to you. And
love it. Thank you for having me. Really, seriously.
Of course.
Yeah, it was so great to chat with you. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And
good
Thanks,
seeing you,
I
Kenner.
really appreciate it. Really do.
all right.
You. All right.
Thanks so much.
Take care.
that was such a great interview. What do you think?
That was a great interview with Kenner. We covered really cool stuff. Let us know what you guys think in comments below.
Yeah, he's somebody in the field that's certainly using AI to his advantage. Make sure that you use AI in your world. With our world, we certainly have a few things going on, so let's transition over to kind of the news going on. So Claude 3, everybody's been talking about. Anthropic AI announced Claude 3. It's the next generation of AI models. There are 3 state-of-the-art models that they released. So starting with Claude 3, Haiku, which is going to be not as smart, I guess, but it is free. It doesn't cost anything. Sonnet is the next step up from that, and then Opus being their paid version, which is going to have the most benchmarks. So they did post on their website the Claude 3 benchmarks as compared to ChatGPT 4, 3.5, Gemini, and so we got to see kind of what that looks like, and they did break it down by different language training models, so like math, problem solving, coding, skills, reasoning.
So Claude 3, new AI pushed out by Anthropic. What do we know about them so far?
So Anthropic was founded in 2021 by former senior members of OpenAI, which is kind of cool. That means that people in the industry were hopping around working on different projects.
Why did you leave OpenAI to form Anthropic?
Yeah, so there was a group of us within OpenAI that in the wake of making GPT-2 and GPT-3 had a kind of very strong focused belief in 2 things. One was the idea that if you pour more compute into these models, they'll get better and better, and that there's almost no end to this. And the second was the idea that you needed something in addition to just scaling the models up, which is alignment or safety.
Anthropic reportedly eyeing a $20 to $30 billion valuation.
Latest exhibit is Anthropic. That's the OpenAI rival that makes a chatbot called Claude with a focus on safety.
So really at Anthropic, we have this sort of vision of safety being kind of at the center of the research that we do. This kind of helpful, honest, and harmless framework has been really useful for us in thinking about how we want the models, ideally to behave.
And funny side note, so by late 2022, Anthropic had raised $700 million in funding, and $500 million came from Alameda Research. And if you don't know Alameda Research, that is the Sam Bankman-Fried kind of fiasco. And that is a true fiasco.
Alameda Research, he was, or his girlfriend was the CEO of Alameda Research, and Alameda Research was they also funded his company, which
FTX.
was the exchange, which was FTX.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so this came out just this week. It was fantastic to see another player on the stage going for it.
Yeah, basically another AI product being released on the marketplace, and competition of course, is good.
Yeah.
It's great, and we need it. So Elon sues OpenAI. He sues Sam Altman. What were the basis of the lawsuit, and what we know about it so far?
Yeah. So you really have to take a look a little bit back further. Really what happened was Elon Musk is suing OpenAI because they're no longer considered open. But if you go back to 2017, Elon Musk was a part of OpenAI. He was one of the founding fathers, we'll say, of OpenAI. So Elon Musk understood the mission, and he went off and did his own things. And one of the things that I noticed, the quotes here from Elon, told Elon, as we get closer to building AI, it will make sense to start being less open. The open in OpenAI means that everyone should benefit from the fruits of AI after it's built, but it's totally okay not to share the science at some point, and which Elon replied, yup. So that lets us know that he knew that at some point OpenAI was going to be a closed source kind of company.
Or let Elon, he says, let me take it over as CEO, absorb it into Tesla, which last I checked is also a for-profit organization. And also saying, you guys need to raise, $1 billion yesterday. in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So
my understanding of it is Elon believes that he invested into non-for-profit, where it's now becoming more of a for-profit closed organization. They're also questioning the scheme of entities employed by OpenAI. If you look at all the OpenAI entities, there's like 7 or 8 of them. And initially, when Elon put his initial investment in, it was a non-for-profit organization, but now there's all the now a sub entity of the OpenAI nonprofit is a for-profit company. And from what I understand from the research we've done, it looks like that's one of the main basis of the lawsuit.
Yeah,
but it's now becoming a for-profit.
And I think there's ulterior motives, just because he knew going into this what it was going to become. He's not dumb by any means, and so he knew exactly what they were going to be doing. The reason why he's doing it now is probably because he's being shut out of the operations and what's happening at OpenAI, if I had to guess. I mean, he is not having transparency in what's going on over there, and now he's like came up with an idea of this is a good idea to sue because they are no longer OpenAI, they're now closed AI. As that meme that you published. Yeah. I just put it up here. Yeah. So this quote: "We are dedicated to the OpenAI mission and pursued it every step of the way." Elon Musk is like, "Change your name to closed AI, and I will drop the lawsuit."
I think the lawsuit will bring the discovery of the lawsuit will bring a lot of the interesting details into for all of us to see.
Yeah.
And and overall, I think it's a good thing for AI, for this technology.
It is
in general, because it's gonna democratize it more.
Yeah. Switching gears, now that you've heard a little bit about that, we'll touch on a bunch of few things that are happening here, starting with Aramco Digital announced a potential collaboration with Grok to build the world's largest AI computing center. So this is something that, again, one of those things, collaboration, partnerships are occurring in the AI sphere. And this one's in the Middle East. Funding $7.5 billion fund to create Google for the Middle East. A few episodes ago, we talked about T2 Remake, the spoof movie. Okay. Pretty cool. I had the chance to take a look at these Twitter posts.
To the biggest box office smash, the Los Angeles premiere.
Oh, so the guy that's the Terminator audio guy.
Contributing to it.
It's not actually.
He's speaking in Schwarzenegger voice.
He's speaking Schwarzenegger's voice, but it's not Schwarzenegger.
On X, it's at T2 Remake.
Yeah, and we'll include the link down below, and I'll put it up here on the screen for you guys. So yeah, that was just a little bit of culture here.
So let's cover SoundHound AI. They're saying that the demand is through the roof. SoundHound AI is a voice AI and speech recognition company founded in 2005. What do we know about SoundHound AI so far?
So SoundHound AI was a company that was doing voice audio and speech recognition. So we jumped onto their website and we found this video, like a demonstration
of dynamic interaction from SoundHound.
What it is.
That means natural language understanding.
And it's taking in orders. Just knows exactly what you're saying. Hey, I want this. Oh wait, no, subtract this.
From the video, it looks like, let's say you're calling a phone number for a restaurant and placing an order, and as from your human speech, the AI is building an order. You ordered a burger, you wanted this specific alterations, you want to change the Coke to an orange juice, and the software is doing all that in real time and building out your cart.
Pretty cool.
And that, of course, is just one of the examples for the use of their technology. They're showing different examples for different industries. This was a restaurant example, and of course, any kind of a customer service or order taking from voice. That's what it looks like their solution is.
Yeah, very interesting to see this company and the fact that they're on on the NASDAQ was interesting.
That's right. They are a publicly listed company, SOUN on NASDAQ.
Yeah. When NVIDIA disclosed its investments in a recent filing, it sent shares of tech stocks, such as a few different one of them. And one of them was SoundHound AI soaring. So year to date, both of these stocks are up over 80%, which is even better than NVIDIA's gains so far.
So am I reading this right? So NVIDIA is one of their investors, right?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. We're investors, but we don't offer investment advice.
No. But it was just one of those companies. Hey, this is interesting to see. Google ex-Google engineer was charged with stealing AI secrets for a Chinese firm. They're coming for us.
So ex-Google engineer charged with stealing AI secrets for a Chinese firm. So he's taking American, let's call it American technology, right? He's taking it from here, and he's sending it to them. Let's get some details on that.
Ding, who is a Chinese national, was living in Newark. An indictment alleges that he transferred sensitive Google trade secrets to his personal accounts while secretly working for 2 AI companies in China.
So he's basically all the DeepMind stuff sending to China.
To be honest, ridiculous. I'm not surprised that I think this is what just hits the news, but and also, you know, this is a little bit conspiracy theory, but what role did Google have of putting out this? You know, are they throwing somebody under the bus for whatever their reasons are?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder how many millions. This is just what hits the news, but how many millions of examples of theft like that?
This is I'm sure this is happening numerous
every
parts.
day.
Yeah, everybody wants what the U.S. has.
Especially if it's cutting edge technology.
It is cutting edge technology.
Right.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Shout out to our sponsor, CozySolutions.com. Charlie Oscar Zulu Echo Solutions with an S at the end, plural. Solutions.com. They are midterm rental and short-term rental solutions provider here in Orange County and San Diego. They provide these beautiful, fully furnished apartments with high-speed internet.
Nice.
If you're staying here in town for a month or two for a project, or you're just looking for a weekend getaway in say, San Diego, go to their website, CozySolutions.com. If you use the promo code NNN for Neural Network News, you'll be able to get $99 off of your booking with them.
That's NNN. Promo code NNN.
That's right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please give this video a thumbs up. Comment below. Comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you thought about the interview with Kenner.
Yeah.
It really helps support the channel.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss an upload.
Really appreciate it. Thanks again for being here. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, we're on Neural Network News. We're broadcasting the pulse of innovations.
You got it.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, guys.